I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you can make a doctor's salary working 3 hours per day with this business model. This is the business model that absolutely changed my life and gave me true financial freedom, which I'm about to dive into in a second. And it is very simple to get started. So, what is this great business model I'm talking about? It is building a personal brand and coaching business on the back end. That is the easiest one that you can get into, is having a coaching business. There's a lot of different businesses you can have with a personal brand, but the coaching business is going to be the easiest and most beginner friendly if you're not already doing something else that you're trying to leverage your personal brand for. So the most beginner friendly one is to sell some sort of coaching service, something that you've actually achieved. This could be a fitness transformation. This could be building confidence and having dating success, or masculinity and self-improvement, whatever it is that you're into and that you have developed in your own life and gotten results with, you can teach others to do who are one or more steps behind you. It's genuinely that simple. Now, there are people making millions of dollars per month with no ads, just organic traffic, with this exact business model. So there is absolutely no reason that you can't do 5, 10, 15, 20, 30K per month. That's a doctor's salary using this exact business model. And I've done it myself, and I know it's not that difficult. So that is really how simple it can be. I'm going to be breaking everything down though, because now I kind of just built the hype around it. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. So I had a previous business that was making me 8 to 15K per month, and I ran that for about 8 months. But very early on, when I learned a couple different things and I was investing in different mentorships, I learned the power of a personal brand, because that wasn't coming from a personal brand. It was completely cold traffic. It was I don't want to dive into it, but it was just a completely different business model. My sales close rate was 4%, whereas now with this personal brand, it's 20 to 30%. It was a completely different ballgame. And I realized a couple of these things, and I had some mindset shifts. So I started to build my personal brand at that time, posting on YouTube. I didn't know what I was doing. And eventually, through investing in different mentors, a YouTube mentor, a YouTube business mentor specifically for building out my coaching offer, things like that, I was able to have success. But the one thing that I wish I did from the start was have a more systemized and organized way of posting content, creating really good titles and thumbnails. And for that reason, I'm giving every single one of you my YouTube strategy board. This is what I use to this day for both this channel and my main channel to stay super organized, produce high quality content in a high quantity that other creators aren't able to do. Most people aren't able to produce one video per day. I do sometimes 2 per day between my main channel and my business channel. So if you want to have success, if you want everything to go a lot smoother, this is going to help you out so much. There's actually an insane amount of value in this, and that's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below, so you can grab that now. So like I said, I made a bunch of mistakes. I learned the value of personal branding. I set everything up. With time, I persisted and I built a real business out of it. So I've been able to live completely financially free. Let me tell you about my July. My July was probably one of the best months that I've ever experienced in my life. There was times when I was making more money with that previous business, I won't lie, but I had a level of freedom that I'd never seen before. I made a good amount of money whilst literally every day waking up, going to the gym, hanging out with my friends, going to the beach, going jet skiing, and then also partying on the weekends. And in the meantime, I would make sure to record content after the gym. I would take a little bit of time to sit down, record some content, and then I would just make sure I took any sales calls or client calls that I had scheduled in. And besides that, I set my calendar as I saw fit, and I was able to make a lot of money while still living my best life. And let me give you one of the coolest stories that I've personally ever experienced. So I don't remember exactly what happened in the morning that day, but it was probably something pretty cool. And later on, my friend was throwing a barbecue, but I had some sales calls. So I said, I'll be there, but I just need to take a sales call. I'll go up to your apartment. And, everyone was outside, and I was like, I just need to take this call at 11 o'clock. So I'm hanging out with everyone. 11 o'clock rolls around. I go up, I take my call, I close it in 45 minutes for $2,500, and then I go back to the barbecue and hanging out with my friends. I took 45 minutes and I came back with 2,500. I felt like the coolest motherfucker on the face of the planet, especially in Sweden where shit like this just doesn't happen. No one makes money like that in that quantity and that quickly. I felt like the fucking man. So I'm genuinely living my best life. I don't need to be making $1 million a month. Of course, I'm aiming for those big goals, but I have freedom, which is the most important thing. This business has allowed me to have true financial freedom. So if a lot of you want to have freedom, if you don't want to be stuck in that 9 to 5, this is the business model for you. I cannot think of any other one, and trust me, I have tried them all. So going back until 14 years old, I'm 23 now, I've tried all different kinds of things, and the personal brand has been the one to generate the most success with the least amount of time. It's genuinely the best business model. I can't think of anything else that comes close to it. So the next thing I want to dive into is the limiting beliefs. A lot of you might be thinking, oh, that's so cool, that's so cool, that's a great story. I wish I could do that, but I'm not gonna succeed. This is not for me. I don't have that great personality. I'm not good on camera. I don't have good speaking skills. The thing I want you to understand is that I had to go on a serious personal development journey starting at 19 to become the individual that I am today. I actually started another personal brand on TikTok. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of a clueless kid. I've tried many personal brands actually, but this one started to gain traction. I actually gained 6,000 followers on TikTok in the matter of like 3 or 4 months. And I just didn't know how to make money from it. So I eventually had to go on to do other things. But here's the funny part is I would have to do like 30 takes. I would have a 30-second TikTok and it took me like 15 minutes, 30 takes to just get that. And my communicative style was very monotone. I was really struggling to be captivating. And although I ended up getting views, I think it was a much better time. If I was the individual that I am today, back 3 years ago, oh, who knows where I would be. It was a much better time to get into it. It is getting more saturated, so you do have to be competitive. But if you build all the skills required, good communication, you can articulate yourself well, you actually have value and credibility in the niche that you go into, you can 100% succeed. Because this was something that I thought myself. I was like, what the fuck? How am I going to succeed on YouTube? And the funny thing is, the personal brand that I originally started, this one, I thought it was going to lead to me selling my sales program. I thought I was going to transition into a different sort of sales. And I thought I was going to take on more of like a business sort of personal brand and niche than what I am doing now on my main channel, which is masculinity, dating, fitness, just masculine self-improvement as a whole. I didn't know that I was going to go down that route, but just through posting different things, I realized that I actually had just a ton of credibility in the masculinity niche. I'd been having success with girls for years. I had a good physique. I had a great mindset. I'd built success in financial freedom at this point. I was like, I'm a fucking great masculine self-improvement, and I'm great in that niche. So I ended up deciding to take that because that's what I'm truly passionate about. I couldn't necessarily say I'm truly passionate about the sales niche or the stuff that I was doing before. It was just what was making me money, so that's what made me passionate about it. But if you're not a lazy fuck and you haven't just sat on the couch and ate potato chips for the last couple of years and you've done something with your life, you could start a personal brand and have success. Let me give you an example. I was trying to convince my sister to start a personal brand. She's a little bit younger and she doesn't really care about money because my parents pay for everything for her. But she went to one of the most prestigious high schools for sports in America. It's called IMG. And I was like, why don't you start a soccer personal brand? That's the sport she did. I was like, you can start a personal brand teaching soccer and documenting your journey and showing this. And you can go on to, sell some sort of coaching, or there's so many different things. It's truly unlimited. It's not just like fitness, dating, business. Like everyone thinks there's like 3 niches. Like there's people in the most unique niches who are selling like all different kinds of things for high ticket. All different kinds of things. So I was trying to encourage her to do that. She didn't want to do it. But you can genuinely start a personal brand on anything. So you just have to look introspectively and think, what have I actually accomplished in this life that other people are struggling with as well? Like if you had a hard time doing it, you can only imagine everyone else is also probably having the same hard time doing it as well. So any limiting beliefs you have, you need to really work through them, because there is unlimited potential, because you are a one-of-one brand. If you show your face, like I'm Sebastian Riccobono, I show my face, there's only one of me. You can't just come along and replace me and say, here's the new owner. It doesn't work like that. It's just me. I'm the only one who can run this business the way that I do, sitting down, recording and talking, and with my face and appearance and communicative style and engagement and whatever. So you genuinely set yourself up to have no competition. Of course, there's competition. There's other people in the same niche and things like that. But someone's going to resonate with you specifically. This is the thing. This is why you got to get very personal in your personal brand. You have to tell stories. You're kind of sacrificing a little bit of your personal life to build this business. I tell a lot of stories on my main channel about the things that I've done with dating, with just my life, things I do with my friends. So people know a lot of my stories. They know my upbringing. They know my struggles, a lot of my issues when I was younger and how I overcame them. But that leads them to have a very genuine connection with me and like me a lot more than someone else who might just try and come online with like 5 bullshit tips. Like when someone can really dive into your story and be like, holy shit, I feel just like Seb felt when he was 17 and he didn't have success with girls and he overcame this and I want to do the same thing. That's the level of connection that's going to get someone to pay you a lot of money. And that's why I personally believe that YouTube is the best for building a personal brand, because you're going to build a connection that you otherwise wouldn't with someone. Think about it, you're sitting down with someone for 10, 15, 20 minutes listening to them talk. It's completely different than just watching one reel. It's so easy to forget about someone, but if you watch someone's YouTube video, you won't forget. You'll remember that YouTube video if it was impactful on your life. So that's why I recommend YouTube, by the way. And once again, the YouTube strategy board is completely free. So if you're already posting, I'd highly recommend grabbing this to level up your game. Or if you're thinking about getting started, pick this up as well. But that's really everything I want to say about it. It's the best business model. This is for anyone who hasn't been a lazy fuck and has actually accomplished something with their life. There's unlimited growth potential, like I mentioned before. You can scale this to $1 million per month. And the limiting beliefs are all in your head. You just have to come onto the platform and start somewhere, and you will realize it's a lot easier than you'd ever imagine. And if you want my help to figure out how you can build a personal brand, if you already have one, to develop your coaching offer and just take things to the next level, then I offer a free strategy call down below. You can book that in now.